score at the moment is 3-1 to Generational Wealth team. We've got the last round before we get to the bonus round. And this one here is about delivering a business pitch. So I've told both the teams already, what they'll be doing is creating their own clothing brand. And then they've got to deliver the pitch to me and put their request forward as well. So what it is that they need from me for their business to work. So I'll be judging them on how good the pitch was, the areas that they've covered, and also how realistic the ask is that they've given me. All right, cool. So we're gonna go to the Generational Wealth team first.
Yeah.
You guys start off, you've got 2 minutes, maximum 2 minutes.
All right.
Are you guys gonna be standing up?
Yeah, I think best if you sit down.
Sit down, so you can
I can't even get like that.
Right?
Let me just tuck this away.
Just the hype at the moment.
Do you want to start or should I start?
I'll start off.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm a public speaker, you know.
I've done this as well, bro.
It's part in 2 minutes.
Come. So, you start.
Okay. Do you know what it's like to grow up in a marginalised area? Do you know what it's like to look around and see young people going into a life of crime because they just don't grow up with the same experiences that others do? Or we do as well. And that's why our solution here is a clothing line. And people won't think that with a clothing line, you'll be able to actually change the world. With Generational Royalty, we are a clothing brand with our motto called Road to Royalty. Essentially, we're a clothing brand which is based on financial education for young people. So our clothes will have different lessons regarding financial education on the clothing for the young people.
So, alright, just to elaborate and to add on to what Jonah said, behind our product is a social initiative to aid families that are in poverty, and what we want to do from that is to give young people jobs and emphasize them on a culture that's different and a bit more productive than what's too connected to the roads and what the current focus is on and things like roads. That's a bit like negative. Just bring them up in terms of things like poultry capital and stuff like that. So by doing that, we're gonna do that from workshops, organizations such as or similar to yours, KBM Financial Focus. And we plan to have off-site events to help with the launch of our products as well.
Yes, also we're thinking about creating various forms of content for the young people like blogs, a YouTube channel and much more just to bring the young people in and also make some money for the clothing line too. So Asari mentioned our CSR program, which is to aid families that grow up in poverty because we understand what it's like to grow up in areas like that. So we want to aid them as best as possible. So what we ask from you, Mr. KBM, is 25k in funding. This is for the events that we're going to be doing in stores, the stores itself, the clothes, the design, and much more, just to ensure that we help young people that grew up in North London like yourself, East London, South London, and West London that don't grow up in the best areas.
Alright, so you guys are in the picture, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I've got a few questions in there.
You're laughing, but you can't come up with most stuff you got in,
hold on.
and you're putting it in now.
What do you mean?
I told you guys how you lose points today.
Was they not getting onto us laughing?
You ready?
Why does he get so offended?
You guys ready, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. You guys need to sort out what was going on.
He just gets offended.
Alright, cool. So look, all you need from me is 25k.
Yes.
So I take it you guys have already got your partners, collaborations, and those kind of things lined up.
Yes, we
You
do.
speak to about some of your partners and collaborators and what they're bringing to the table as well.
So actually, we
And
also
how much? What do I get back as well from my 25k if you've got so many partners and collaborators?
So from your 25k, you'll be getting a portion of our stake.
First part of the question is, you guys are just asking for 25k from my side, yeah? So the first thing I want to know is anyone else funding you guys or investing in you guys or providing you guys with resources? Because that figure seems quite low for everything that you said you want to do. And also, how many partners and collaborators have you already got involved in this project that you guys want to do? And would they be sharing a part of the profits?
So a couple of the ones that I'll mention is firstly we've got a bank, we've got NatWest that we're looking to partner with too, and we've been in talks with them recently, but we thought with an educational and consultancy brand like yourself, and then if we go with a bank as well, they'll be able to aid young people too, because usually they just see these banks on the road, but they don't think, oh, I could work there in the future, or I could do this, or I could get work experience there. This is what we're looking to provide from them, and obviously they're going to be giving us funding too as well. And another one I'll mention that we actually have is some housing associations too for young people as well, because we all know that a lot of young people live within certain housing associations like L&Q and other ones like that, so we're just going to ensure that we tap into those resources and partner up with them for other stuff too.
Cool. Yeah, what do I get back from the 25k? Do I get any money back, a part in the business, or how's it going to work?
We said before, you'll get around 30% of the profit from the business. I was gonna say it's good for your name, but you'd be a millionaire, innit? So that don't really mean that.
You know what else? We'll throw on top of that. It's either you can choose actually. We'll get the balls in your court. You can have 30% of the end of year. The end of year, so not monthly, but end of year. But we'll give you that in portions, monthly installments, or we can give you some stocks and shares if you want.
Okay. Cool. And what? Yeah. Last thing I said, I've got quite a few, but just for recording purposes, what expertise are you guys bringing to the table?
I'm gonna go first.
And what expertise do you expect me to bring to the table as well as the 25k?
So what we expect you to bring to the table is obviously your assistance when it comes to what you have going for your company, your KVM. That's what it is. Your financial focus. So assistance in workshops for our program. In addition to that, obviously the 25k to help with things like setting up offsite events and funding for pros, different things like that.
Yeah, because you have quite a lot of experience in that with your events and stuff that you do around finance, so it'll be good if we can get some advice from you, and also you could coach us a bit on that too. That's why that's why we wanted to give you such a high percentage, because we're looking at also how we're going to improve as businessmen too, because I'm sure we can both agree that although you're a millionaire right now, we're getting to that point. We want to ensure that we're aiding people as best as possible and making an impact, because you're making an impact with KBM, you have been for a long time. So we're thinking about, as young people ourselves, how are we going to come to someone like you who's worked with various charities before and organizations and has been doing this for a while? How are we going to become admirable like yourself? So we'll be looking for that too.
Alright, cool. And lastly, I think I'll only ask one question, but I just want to, your target audience, remind me of who your target audience is again?
Young people.
Young people.
From marginalised areas.
Okay, cool. So how are you going to attract your target audience?
So the way that we're going to attract them mainly is through social media. We should have mentioned that actually, but we mentioned briefly about YouTube. We're going to do blogs too, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, because I know a lot of young people, quote unquote, apparently don't like to read. I personally like to read, but apparently not a lot of us do. But we'll be able to find those young people too, and also through the housing associations we'll find young people which live within those housing associations as well, for them to spread the word. And also we're going to be tapping into schools. Actually, we know that you have connections with schools too, so we'd like to request if you can maybe get our name in there sometimes as well.
Okay. Alright, cool. Thank you. The money team, you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
We just had the generational wealth team, deliver their business pitch. And I thought it was quite good. I'm going to come back with my comments afterwards, but first, before we get there, I'm going to let you guys go. Same again, you've got 2 minutes to deliver it. And then I'm going to ask you a few questions afterwards, and I'm going to announce the winner after you guys have gone through. So start when you're ready, man.
Alright.
I'll be writing my notes.
The introduction. Alright, it's me and Adam, and we are the Muscle Legacy. We have made a clothing brand, which is a tracksuit. Yeah, I'm going to start waffling, so you can start with here.
Should I go again?
No, keep
Oh, continue. Okay. So imagine a world where only 10% of businesses are actually available to you. In a world where so many tracksuit brands have popped up one day and gone the next day. But here at Muscle Legacy, we want to do something different. We want to actually be the change, because there's so many other tracksuit brands, as you heard just over there from our honourable gentleman, that he wants to start a tracksuit brand as well. But here at Muscle Legacy, we actually say that we want to push to new heights. So we've decided to build a tracksuit which not is only for young people, but it's also for preteens as well. So we have 18 all the way up to 35. And we believe this demographic will definitely change the game, because a lot of people during lockdown, unfortunately, they had to go through things where they weren't actually able to exercise and actually get outside the house. But here at Muscle Legacy, we decided to build in a t-shirt which is actually eco-friendly as well, and it's actually a weighted t-shirt, so wherever you go, you can actually move around on the move and actually still be putting on muscle as well as losing weight as well. We can move on to our tracksuits, which you also spoke about.
The bottoms could also turn into shorts, which makes them detachable hoods. We've also got weighted t-shirts, lifelong material, guys, lifelong. So it's very hard to rip, but it's very stretchy, very comfortable to wear. The price has come up to $79.99, but that's if you want to buy it separately. But it's gonna be $120 for the whole thing. But the delivery is free if you buy the full set. So at Muscle Legacy, we're just trying to take care of you, help make sure you could move about, make sure you could do lots of things other than just go out or maybe go see a friend. You could literally lift weights, you could go play football, maybe you could literally do whatever in this tracksuit. So
Go on.
Okay. And we see with e-commerce on the rise, there's so many people that actually try to start brands and they actually end up flopping. But here at Muscle Legacy, we actually have marketing expertise. We have a plethora of contacts who are actually able to market our brand. So we can do influencer marketing, where we actually have sports people. Nathaniel Masai is also 18 years old, and we have amazing other young people that are also interested in sports and fitness, so they can actually attract the next generation, so that they can also push to new heights. But thank you.
We are also advertising all of this on mainly social media, some commercials whatsoever, but mainly TikTok, because TikTok is kind of blowing up right now. It's where the younger generation usually is. So we're trying to get onto there, maybe get a bit popular, and hopefully it will blow up. And you will probably get around 30-40%. But all we need is about 100 grand. So we'll need 100 grand for shipping, maybe vehicles to ship our stuff. We need materials. We need 100% polyester. And there's a lot of other stuff that we need, but we could go into that later.
Alright, cool. Thank you. Anything else?
About tracksuits already.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, talk to me about the. You said there was a bit where you could be walking around and still be putting on muscle. How does that work?
So with the ankle weights, and you can actually be walking and you're actually putting on muscle through the ankle weights. We decided to put make a vest, and it's actually a t-shirt as well, so it's sweat resistant, so that you can actually also go on the run. You can do training with it, but it's not really bulky like a vest. It's actually nice, and you can actually wear it out on the road as well, so you can do your everyday.
What about the ankle thing as well, because that'd be quite bulky, isn't it?
Yeah, so we decided not to do the ankles. Instead, we decided to just go with the t-shirt, so that you're working on your upper body, and maybe eventually we want to do weighted shorts as well. But for the most part, we found that t-shirts were more preferable. They're cheaper to make, and they're more popular as well, as it will have the Muscle Legacy logo all over it.
Remind me of the prices that you guys had, for how much everything was.
$17.99 for if you was to get maybe the shorts on its own, or maybe the top on its own. For the whole set, it will be $120, but delivery will be free if you was to buy the whole thing.
And it's like I asked these guys as well, in terms of your collaboration partners, you said you guys are going to use influencers to boost it. Do you guys have any connections to any influencers? Like that?
Just even because we have already a marketing expertise, we actually work with e-commerce brands already, so we would know some of the people in their network, and also tapping into KBM network. We've seen several amazing influencers also come across your page and your platforms as well. So potentially, whether that be we're paying to bring them on, which is why we need 100 grand as well to actually pay some of them. and some of them hopefully they can actually help us out, and we can also give them some of our products, as we do believe that we'll be the face of fitness.
Okay. The last question as well. How is it eco-friendly? Because obviously that's a thing that's going on at the moment. But yeah, how's it eco-friendly?
So you see how some clothing uses animal products and whatever and stuff like that. We don't use anything, so make our materials vegan. What's it called? Yeah, I'm waffling.
Also durable.
Yeah, they're durable.
Because it's durable, it doesn't rip. And even if you look at one of my tracksuits right now, it will have small bubbles on it. But what I found is that many tracksuits, they don't go past the 3 months to 4 months, because I don't know, for some of us, especially in our community, our legs tend to rub together because the way our knees are, so bubbles will come, rips will come. But this tracksuit, we believe it's going to be durable and actually last a long time. So you spend £120, that could last for 3 years, as opposed to 5 months.
My team got bubbles, you know.
See? That's why you need muscle legacy.
Muscle legacy. You won't have this.
Okay. Alright, so how should I announce the winners? How are we going to do it?
That was good, guys.
Yeah, it was good.
That was cold.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You said they're honourable gentlemen, you know. I was like, wow. Alright, man.
What I want to do, yeah, is just kind of give like feedback,
Okay, cool.
and then I announce the winner, yeah.
Yeah, I think what you are is quite cool.
Yeah, so just stay like this and just give feedback and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me know when to start.
Yeah, when you're ready, let's do it, God.
All right, cool. So basically, I like both of the pictures. Obviously, I think it was really good. The one thing that I will pick up, I will kind of say to you guys is like, be better with the numbers, because obviously you're coming to me. The number guy, like the finance guy, the money guy, needs to be better on the numbers. You know what? If we, for example, if we sell 10 of these, this is how much profit we expect to get. If we sell 100 of these, we expect this much profit. So then I can start working with those kind of numbers, and then you have like estimates to say we want to sell this money by the end of the year. Thing to note for you guys here is like with what you're doing, it's bare that you're doing. You're trying to do too much, like from nowhere as well. So your business pitch was good, but it's just too much. One thing I liked about these guys, one, is that it's just simple. We're just doing tracksuit, that's it. It's not gonna link to workshops or anything like that, all these kind of things. It's just that we can sell tracksuits. Also, I think you need to think more about how you, this is for both of you guys, think more about your marketing kind of strategies, how you're gonna attract your target audience, and hone in on just, sometimes it is hard to have such a big gap in terms of target audience. It's like, for example, if I deliver a workshop to 8-year-olds, there's a big gap between 8 and 10. When I go and deliver it to a 10-year-old, they're gonna, like, think about it in school terms, that's like year 5, and then the other one's like year 7. So there's a gap between that. Even from year 7 to year 9, there's a gap in terms of like what you're gonna understand. So like when you have a big gap for your target audience and what you're trying to achieve, it's harder to to actually get that, hone in on one kind of thing. The way that it worked better if you focus on the culture of things. So like I said that you want to do like an urban tracksuit, then that has no age on it. Then you can, yeah, it might work better. Also, you guys didn't speak too much on, but obviously it's your first try guys doing this, but like your manufacturers and stuff like that.
We had that in here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, you're gonna have manufacturers where in China, India, or wherever, and again, put money into it again. Like obviously we're making things up at the moment, innit?
Yeah.
But like, say we think it's gonna cost about 10k to do this, to get our manufacturers and stuff like that across. Also, when you're doing your pitches, depending on like how you're doing your pitches, so like you're doing to an investor or stuff like that. There's some investors that ain't really got time. You have to kind of know who the investor is. Like, I don't need all that stuff at the beginning. Like, imagine a world and all this kind of thing. Stop setting the scene for me. Like, what do you want? Like, that's what I need to know, innit? What do you want? Like, I've already given you the platform. You guys could be wasting time, like, by trying to set the scene. When I'm here thinking, I just want to know how you guys are gonna make more money. That's what, like, those big investors and dragons there, they don't care about like someone who comes from poverty or some rubbish like that. They're like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna make money? How are you gonna get? So think about those kind of things. But yeah, I did like both of them. I like the way you guys focused on like trying to make a change, like make a community and stuff like that. Yeah, and I like you guys' simplicity, and then making it, and then the fact that you can wear it's something that you can wear out, and like what's called, and you can do your workouts in as well and everything. But the one I'm going to choose, the team that I'm going to choose for this, is going to be the money team.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Alright, the reason I said
That was well deserved. Though.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, you know, when you're doing the pitch, I was thinking if we lose to them.
What is the biggest company in the world? No, you can't do the answer.
No, you have to
The
say
biggest
it.
company in the world is Amazon.
Oh, I was
No,
gonna say.
no.
No! What do you think?